Alright, people. Hopefully you guys are doing well. This is a bit improv, if you will. I didn't actually have this planned. I had something else a bit larger planned, but I might hold that off till next week just because. Anywho, a couple things. So I saw the Bottom Bitch podcast this morning, or I listened to it, I should say, and I heard massive cope, and I heard a lot of bullshit as it pertains to DSP trying to pad this this race to 1,000 or whatever. And I'd said last stream / podcast that there was a very high chance that he was going to hit 1,000 losses before he hits 1,000 wins. Now I don't remember exactly what the number is. I think he's off by like 39. I think he's up 39. I should say he's up 39 wins over his losses. How accurate that count is on his part, I couldn't tell you, so don't hold me to that. But and don't hold him to it. But that's what the situation looks like now. As far as I know, he's playing Lily and Blanka today, and I think Blanka's like his second or third best character. So I think he's going to use Blanka to try to pad his wins as best he can. But anyway, I was listening to this Bottom Bitch podcast, and he was talking about how he's been watching pro players, and he's learned all these different tricks and strategies now, even though he's trashed both of these characters in the past. And now he thinks he has an understanding, and with Lily in particular, he said, oh, the pro players are playing just like me. It was like his I'm a big kid now type moment or whatever. And it sounds pathetic, and it was pathetic because it is pathetic, but it was pretty funny nonetheless, to be honest. So I felt the need to go ahead and make that happen. So I had Diggs go ahead and make the cut, so we're going to see that. On top of it, Phil says he's been watching some Street Fighter montages of top players or whatever. Now, granted, the reason why DSP used montage instead of saying combo video or even a tutorial video to any real stretch is he needs something that equates back to him. He needs something that he's familiar with. So instead of saying a combo video or a tutorial, he'll say it's a montage, which, whatever. Anyway, I don't know if he found the Blanka montage. I don't know if this particular montage is the same one that he watched, but I think it's pretty close. It's some Blanka stuff, some stuff that you guys will get to learn. So we'll check that out and see what's what. For any of you who are playing Street Fighter 6 or thinking about doing so, I would like to impress this upon you, because then you won't land, or you won't fall into some of the same mental traps that DSP is about to. When you watch, and you should watch the pro players play. You should watch their matchups. A bunch of places you can do that. And you should watch these combo videos or these tutorials. As it pertains to the combo videos and tutorials, how do I word this? Okay. They do not tell you what you should do. They show you what you could do. Now, let me repeat that. They do not use those videos as what you should do, or they're trying to tell you what you should do. You should look at it, and they're really there for you to see what you could do. Creativity and imagination is what kind of the whole concept of a combo, right? Or combo videos in general, and situations and things like that. That's what that really tries to drum up and inspire. If not, then essentially it's just flowchart and pattern play, to be honest. And if you fall into that trap, if you fall into that trap, then you get into these situations where, oh, well, I saw this being done in a video. I did it exactly like how they did it. Why didn't it work? And you start forgetting about shit. You forget about spacing. You forget about character hitboxes. You forget about some other stuff. Execution can be off. You may need to adjust. Instead of going for hard punch, you might need to go for medium or light, stuff like that. So try not to fall into the same trap of a low tier god or a DSP. And that's probably the best advice I can give you. Alright, with that, let's go ahead and just get into it and whatnot. Like I said, 2 videos, and that'll be a wrap. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the situation. We're here from the Bottom Bitch podcast, which was from today, which is June 16th of 2023. The link, there is a link down into the description. It's down to Raw Phil and whatnot. So I would rather give him credit than DSP. And then the second video is from a channel called HiFight. The link to that's also down in the description as well. And I believe that's where DSP saw his Blanka combo video on. But we'll see. Anywho, big ups to all y'all in chat. The next stream / podcast, I was inspired from the last stream. Someone had brought up what was DSP's 6-year, or what did I think DSP would be doing in like 2026. And I decided that I should build upon that, because that was a fantastic question that still has the noggin jogging even now. But I thought I would expound upon that. DSP proposed the 10-year plan to his mother in 2019, I believe, which is when they got married. So, truth be told, he would be coming up on his 10-year anniversary as it pertains to the 10-year plan, obviously in 2019, or 2029, sorry. And so, my future question to you, chat, I should say, and those in the comment section, is what would DSP stream look like in 2029? In 10 solid years. Something to think about. Anyway, the next stream, hopefully, as long as I get all the elements together, is going over essentially the 10-year plan. Everything that led up to that, up to the 10-year plan, the fundraisers, all the nonsense about my parents being sick, then the actual trip out there and all the bullshit that entails, plus the post podcast that he did, and then him retconning it a couple of years after that. So that's the plan for that, so look forward to that when that happens. That's about it, to be honest. So here, let's go ahead and get into the situation yet again. Big ups to everybody in chat. And here we go.
Okay. As for Street Fighter 6, I think we should talk a little bit more about that. So, at this point, just to remind everybody about what's going on with Street Fighter 6. I've tried 9 characters in the game. Okay? And overall...
Oh, as usual, chat. If the volume's too high, too low, please let me know. And I'll adjust it as we need to.
The characters that have probably clicked most with me were probably, I would say, Blanka, Lily, and Marisa. Now, I like Zangief, and I like Dalsim, but I feel like those characters are so unique and challenging to use, they're going to take a lot more work before I can start to actually get significantly better with them. But, for all the characters I've used, I think I'm starting to...
let's see. Do I know when the Phil killing T meme started? Meth? Not in particular. I feel like right after... sorry, it's not funny, to be honest with you, but I don't know when exactly it started. I wanted to say I started hearing people or seeing people actually use it after him cleaning out his closet. I think is when he put that in full effect, and that's because he literally tried to make T's death about him. I think that's one of the calluses there, or that's one of the origination of it, I should say. I think that's where he started it. Because, truth be told, there is all kinds of situations. There's a bunch of things that could have happened from the time DSP told T that he would take him home to the point where he said no to T, to when T got to his friend's house, to the time T left his friend's house and finally got shot. There's all kinds of variables in there, to be honest. For DSP to sit there and put the blame on himself is probably one of the more disgusting things that I've seen him do. But it goes back to that Frank Underwood quote where he's in the church, where he says, "I pray to myself for myself." That's essentially DSP in a nutshell. He doesn't give a fuck about T, to be honest with you. Only what T could do for him. And once he died, you know what I'm saying, you discard him and you move on. That's why visiting T's grave was never on his bucket list. He didn't go to that kid's funeral. You know what I'm saying? He didn't pay his respects to that kid's family. He didn't do any of that. Once T died, essentially he tried to co-opt T's position amongst that group that they were all in, and he tried to run with it. That's essentially what that came down to. So, truth be told, he deserves that meme more than anything. I mean, since, you know, he feels like it's his fault, let him have it if he wants to. But DSP doesn't understand survivor's remorse or any bullshit like that. But I think that's, like I said, I don't know exactly when it started, but that's what I made of it. Which is a pretty sick thing to do anyway. You know, DSP said that when T passed, the whole city was hurting. So he saw, I'm sorry, this is not funny, but he saw all of these people grieving over T, and then he inserted himself into that. Why? Like, why would you do that? I don't know. I don't
know. Get the idea of which characters I'm liking more than others. And if you haven't noticed, yes, I tend to like oddball characters. You notice I'm not using all the standard characters that almost play the same, like Ryu-Ken, Cammy, Chun-Li, Juri, DJ. They're all mid-range characters.
No, I did not catch him. No, I have not caught DSP telling his mother the theory, or his mother's theory on him waiting until his parents died out. I honestly think that's what's going to happen, but I haven't seen that. No, I haven't. Not yet. Not from him. But he knows it's true, to be honest with you. Like I said, you in DSP's world, you serve a purpose. The moment you don't serve that purpose anymore, then you're discarded. Pure and simple. And DSP believes he has all this time, right? You know, because he's now gotten to this point mentally where, oh, I can outlast everybody, right? I'm going to outlast the FGC. I'm going to outlast Pro Jared. I'm going to outlast all these people, whatever. And that's a really sick way of looking at it, to be honest. Instead of just trying to be a better person or a better content creator or whatever, he would rather wait until people either fuck themselves over and fall off or get canceled or just die off. That's what he would rather do. Like, I can't remember whose channels I was on, not last night, but the night before. But they had the clip of DSP, as I told you guys when this happened, being the Gouty Viper and waiting for Pro Jared to fuck up. And he announced, it was on a pre-stream, where he said, yes, I waited 3 years for him to fuck up so I could finally come out and slap him. Which is coward behavior, to be honest. But it all falls in line with who Darkside Phil is. You know what I'm saying? I think he's waiting he's waiting for Justin to fall off or to leave the internet in general. Maximilian, he's waiting on all those guys anybody who's more successful than he is. He's waiting for them to fall off in some way, shape, or form. It's crazy, but it is what it is. Yes, it's on the go. I plan to go over the John and Howard response. It's on the list. It is indeed on the list.
A lot of dash cancel mix-up combos. You notice I'm not using them. I usually don't go for those kind of standard characters. Instead, I usually go for characters that are a little different. Characters that maybe you have a game plan with a little bit of trickiness to it, a little bit of mix-ups, or you know what I'm saying? I like that, rather than, oh, my idea to play is to do the same pattern over and over. Rush down, mix up, rush down, mix up, rush down, and there's nothing else to it. It's just a pattern online. I hate that, and that's what a lot of people are doing with some of these characters, but not these ones that I'm liking are a little different than that, okay? I would say, as of recently, Marisa probably is my favorite, but today we're going to be doing things and going back a little bit to other characters that I've liked to try to get better with them, okay? Now, I actually have a cumulative stats update because the other day I did a stream that was just Zangief and Marisa, okay? That's all it was.
Now, real quick, this idiot knows, right, that there's like 18 characters so far, right? He understands that maybe, just maybe, he should actually try everybody first and then go ahead and try to actually go for this 1,000 wins or whatever the case may be, right? Like, it's almost like he's handicapping himself mentally, but also he's trying to safeguard himself too. Oh, well, I'm playing mainly new players or new characters or whatever, so no one could ever say that my 1,000 wins is bullshit because I'm playing with characters that are unfamiliar to him or whatever. And that's just me just going off the top. I don't even know if that's his actual excuse, but it sounds about right.
And taking a look at overall wins and losses, because I want to give you guys a total win-loss record and everything that's going on. So the other day I played with Zangief and Marisa again. Both sessions were in ranked. Okay? with Zangief, I went 19 and 19. 19 wins and 19 losses. Exactly a 50% win-loss ratio. However, I do feel like we need to have an asterisk next to that, right? And the reason is, if you watch that session, you would know I fought, no exaggeration, like 5 JPs in a row. I don't know what was going on with the...
So you arguably played the best character in the game 5 times. And that right there should be what? Exempt? Phil, this isn't you writing bullshit off on your taxes. You take it for what it is. Think about that for a minute. Because he had to play the best character in the game 5 times and probably got bodied the majority of that time. Oh, well, we should go ahead and hit it with the Barry Bonds, the Gouty Bonds, if you will, and be like, nah, we can't, we shouldn't count that. Because he's too good of a character, and I can't figure out how to get around him because I'm a fucking idiot. So go ahead and just take that off the board. Please, just take that off the board. Yo, do you see why I say he's playing on a level that people practice on? Legitimately. Like this, which kind of goes back into the level 1 bullshit or whatever, but that's really what he is. He's playing at, literally, he's scraping the bottom of the fucking barrel. Bare minimum all the fucking way. And then he still wants exempts. That's so good.
Ranked matchmaking, but they kept putting me against JPs, and JP, I would argue, is probably, maybe outside of Dalsim, probably Zangief's worst matchup. It's incredibly hard to get in on and stay close to a JP when all he's doing is trying to push you back with these projectile-like keep-away moves, and even when you're near, then his jab beats everything you do, and it's like, holy shit, this is really hard. You know, I did my best. I think I beat 1 of the 5, but it's like, oh, JP, it's almost a guaranteed loss, so that really racked up my losses during that session. But man, I had a good time, even though I lost a lot. I actually
you haven't missed much yet. Just started. A lot of JP cope. Just a pathetic display of a very pathetic individual who is mad that people mock him over the smallest shit when he's deserving of all of it. He's gone out of his way, truth be told. He's gone out of his way to cement the reputation that he has. I don't understand why he's so upset. I honestly don't get it.
Learning with Zangief, I was learning zoning. If you ever saw, there was like dashing right.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome, Green Lobster. I'm pretty sure I thought I'd seen you in here before, but I could be wrong. But welcome either which way.
360 and stuff like that. That was actually pretty good. Pretty fun stuff. All right, now with Marisa, I went 24 wins, 20 losses.
Wait, did you say Button Check actually quoted him yesterday? Ew, shit. Future stream. Future stream.
55% win-loss ratio. I would say I did learn more. In fact, when I was playing with Marisa, I did some of my most impressive combos I've done in Street Fighter 6. So we're talking like, you know, 2 medium punches, dash cancel, 2 more medium punches into the meter burn double uppercuts, into her forward kick, cancel into level 3 super. From mid-screen, that does like 60+% damage.
I don't mean to, I do mean to, honestly, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. But your biggest, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Your biggest accomplishment in Street Fighter 6 so far is a combo that people have been doing since like day 1. That's like the biggest accomplishment that you have at this particular moment, Phil. And that's not even... And, you know, Phil says, oh, they didn't do anything impressive, right? They didn't do anything noteworthy. Should we commend him, chat, on his day 1, week 1? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess. Some of his week 1 bare minimum combos? Should we really do that? Something that you can find all over YouTube. Should we give him the benefit of the doubt? Should we give him a little bit of credit because of that? Really? Come on, dude. This is the same guy for like the last 2 weeks who said I shouldn't have lost to that. That wasn't impressive. That wasn't anything special. And now because he can finally do it, you know, he's still at the kiddie table, by the way. But now because he feels like he can do it, now all of a sudden he should be given kudos. He should be given props. We should go ahead and get a booster seat for him so he can sit at the big boy table. Still not even at the adult table yet. That's so sad.
That's all it could be on a punish. It could be they screwed up, or you're punishing, you're interrupting their move, you do a giant combo. So I would say with combos, probably Marisa is the character I've done the best with so far. And I'm learning matchups. I'm starting to learn exactly what to do with this character. I like the build of the character. I do feel she'll be a little bit more limited than others, but at the same time, man, the risk reward of some of her moves are ridiculous. Like if you take
and here's another thing too, and I pointed this out before. He shouldn't be talking about the limitations of any character, being that he doesn't know nor does he understand how to use any of these characters. He has no previous assessment on what any of these characters can do, what any of their potential is. Nothing. He just tries to emulate what he sees other people do. That doesn't mean you understand what they're doing. So he has no right to say that any of the characters that he's played or playing is limited. He has no right. He really doesn't. And he should have been looking at matchups. He should have been looking at frame data. He should have been doing all that since week 1. It's the only, you need that information. The game has evolved to such a degree that if you really want to be in the upper echelons, these are some of the things that you need to know. If not, you need to have a feel for it. And, DSP has gout, so he can't have a feel for it in his hooves. So that means he's going to have to use his quote-unquote intelligence to make up for his limitations physically. You would think, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a brain dead fucking detractor. What do I know?
A Gladius move, which is her fireball move, which she charges a punch and punches it. And if you charge it and you counter hit, oh my god, the damage is astronomical on a counter hit move for her. So, seems to be definitely my style when it comes to fighting games. Now, overall, my Zangief win-loss record is 54 wins, 46 losses, 54% win-loss ratio. That's not bad, but it's also not good. It's kind of even. For a character like him, I'm not surprised that it's going to be more of an uphill climb with him, being that he's such a unique character, and I need to really learn matchups better, right? Marisa, overall, 72 wins, 42 losses, 63% win-loss ratio. Definitely a much better win-loss ratio with Marisa, although not my best. My best win-loss ratio of any character is JP, 71%, but that's only representative of the very first time that I ever played him. By now, if I used him, I guarantee you I wouldn't do nearly as well because people have gotten so much better in the last 2 weeks this game's been out.
Okay, so can we put an asterisk next to all of those wins then? Can we just take all of those wins off the board if that's the case? I'm just saying, if he wants a handicap for the 4 or 5 JPs that he had played early on where he racked up all those losses, maybe we should take away some of those early wins too to balance it out. I don't know. That's just me.
He was like the second character I picked, right? So that's why I was dominating people with this ranged gameplay. No one knew what it was or how to get around it. Overall, Street Fighter 6 as of this morning, 408 wins, 337 losses, for a grand total of 55% win rate. Still in the positive. Certainly not a great win ratio, though, but I'm in the positive, which is great, and I'm well on my way now. I'm, over a third of the way to my 1,000th win. As I said, this is like the climb to 1,000 wins for me. Curious, how long will it take me to hit 1,000 wins? When will I earn my 1,000th win? Who will it be with, right? It's kind of exciting to look forward to that, building some suspense, right? Okay.
He does have a very intelligent brain. If you can convince weaker people, I suppose, if you can convince weaker people to give you money and to believe that you're a martyr for shit that you brought upon yourself, then maybe that's a thing. But then, wait a second. Let's go a little further on that. If he was so intelligent, right, he would have had a better showing on that side-scroller situation than he did. Like, he couldn't make anything work for him on that fucking interview. At all. And truth be told, his whole motive was going up there to play victim. Which is all he had to do. The thing is he couldn't get over with sympathy. He couldn't dominate the actual conversation. And then he was scared of everybody in the chat. So he couldn't even figure out his way. He couldn't even figure his way out of that mousetrap. It was like lambs to the slaughter. It's by far one of the most pathetic attempts ever. And I only say that because this is what he does every day. What he does is he sits around and talks to people that he feels are intellectually beneath him, practicing what's he going to say when he gets to a bigger platform, practicing what he's going to say to a bigger content creator who he hopes will be empathetic and or sympathetic to what he has to say, and fucked it up royally. So with that being said, let's say he ended up getting the Moist Critical interview. Let's say Moist Critical decided to put him on the podcast with those other fellows that he has over there. Imagine what that would have looked like. Really, imagine what that would have looked like. As far as I'm concerned, looking back at it, the side-scroller interview was a sympathy killing compared to what Moist Critical could have given him if that situation had came to pass. He was very, very fortunate. Very fortunate that it didn't go out the way he wanted to. And then he wasn't even smart enough, right? When the tides were against them, which they were against them from the get-go. He wasn't even smart enough to try to curve the conversation in such a way where it didn't seem like they were piling on him. He literally could have done divide and conquer in some of those questions that they were throwing at him. But instead, detractor. That was his only defense. He couldn't go ahead and say, well, here, let me put an emphasis on this, right? Or let's look at the scenario as a whole. All he could say is, oh, well, I can see what the detractor perspective is. That shouldn't have came out your motherfucking mouth. Detractor or perspective as a defense should have never came out of his goddamn snout. But instead, that was the only defense he had. These people persecute me all the fucking time. I don't understand why. Bullshit, and that's the reason why I failed. And then when they asked him a question about how his business runs financially, he was lost. Oh, I pay this guy a bunch of money each and every year to take care of all that for me. Okay, fair enough. But how do you get to the calculations that you get to, explain your business costs and everything? Oh, what? but he couldn't even give them the basics. He couldn't even give him the basics. With the smallest bit of pushback. This isn't like Officer Sanders where they ran up in her mouth royally. Which that's not really what happened. That was just limp all around. It wasn't even like that. Essentially, they were throwing softballs at him and he just couldn't hit. Wow, that is actually a pretty good Officer Sanders reference. Anyway, let's continue. But but like I said, if you can convince weak people to give you money consistently, then, maybe you are more intelligent than I'm giving them credit for. Maybe.
So that's where we are right now. So what are we doing today? Well, following along with our discussions last week. If you remember, our discussions last week were as follows. I'm never going to get better if I don't play with the same characters. If I keep constantly picking a brand new character, right? And I only play with them a couple of hours and I only learn the basics, I'm just going to continuously get bodied and lose. Now, I feel like I do eventually have to play with every character to learn what they're capable of, to learn their basic attacks, and to see what they're going to be doing when I fight against them. But I don't think, by any means, I'm ever going to be able to pick every single character and play them at a competitive level. You have to focus in on a couple characters or a few characters and play them a lot to learn them at a higher level in order to hang in a competitive fighting game. So, we kind of came to this consensus that I should start doing that, and I should start doing sessions where rather than picking a new character, I pick maybe 2 of the characters I've already used before and play each one for around 90 minutes, okay? So, today, we're going to continue on with that pattern. Last time we did it, it was Zangief and Marisa. Today, it's going to be Blanka and Lily. Now, I will admit to you guys, for the first time ever, well, not ever, but for the first time in recent memory with Street Fighter 6, I did some research. Now this game's been out for 2 weeks. There's a lot of videos online showing high-level gameplay. I watched up on some Blanka and Lily gameplay. Blanka, I have a lot to learn. His basic combo is really standing fierce punch into the crouch into the launcher from the crouch. It's a 2-hit juggle. And after that juggle, you have a lot of options depending on where you are on the screen. You can go into Blanka ball juggles. You can actually toss out a little Blanka-chan. You could go for cross-up attempts. There's a lot of things I've seen different people do after that combo, and I literally have never used the combo, okay? What I usually do is a couple of light hits into electricity, which is also fine. They use that, but that's more of a setup to either light up Blanka-chan or push the opponent backwards towards the corner. It seems like that Fierce Punch combo is the bread and butter combo for him. Also, Super 2, which is the one that charges all his electricity and allows him to do multiple Blanka ball rolls, I've never really utilized properly. I know it could be very effective. It could bait the enemy. It could lead to bigger combos. And also, ultimately, where I'm seeing Blanka be the strongest is in the corner, all right? Let me give you an example. You're in the corner. Blanka's coming at you. Blanka has all these options, okay? He can try to counter hit you. First of all, if you jump, you're screwed. If he hits you with his standing fierce kick, you're juggled, and you're going to get a ginormous juggle in the corner. He has so many opportunities to either juggle you for damage or mix you up with the Blanka-chan that, you know, you're screwed if you're in the corner against Blanka and you don't exactly know how to get out. But on the ground, he can dash cancel and do his medium kick, standing medium kick, or knees, which is forward and medium kick. And after that, he has frame advantage to either throw or do a combo into electricity. He can combo into the wall bounce. Like, he could do 1 or 2 hits into the drive impact to try to create a wall bounce, in which case he does the Fierce Punch combo, which juggles in the corner for giant damage. He has a lot of options in the corner, basically. You want to get them in the corner and mix them up completely. Like, one thing that I saw someone do that was nuts, right? So he wall bounced them. He did the Fierce Punch, Blanka ball up, okay? Then he tossed out a Blanka-chan. As they were landing, he did 2 light hits into the EX electricity, okay? As that was hitting, the Blanka-chan activated. Then he immediately did the overhead headbutt. So they got overheaded. The Blanka-chan comboed. He did Fierce Punch again. Another ball into super. It was like their whole fucking energy bar. I was like, damn, if you get them in the corner and you mix them up, that's like the end of the round. Like, it's really hard to get out of that. So even parrying, it's hard, because if they parry and Blanka-chan's involved, it could mix them up, or you could just like fake them out and throw them. So I saw some...
Depends on the character. But I do have a video, like I said, that'll follow up, that'll show you some of these scenarios that he's speaking of. And I'll let you guys kind of, you know, come to that determination yourself. It should be interesting.
Very interesting things with Blanka. And what I need to do today, I'm going to go a little bit into training mode before we go online, maybe like 5 minutes. I just want to practice that Fierce Punch combo with him. Because I feel like if I get that down, that's the punish. That's the big damage punish with Blanka that could lead to giant, you know, punishing combos, but also mix-ups. And if I get that down, I think I'm probably going to be doing pretty good today. But I need to figure that out. If I'm just using jab electricity, I'm not going to get that far. I need to be doing that very good strategy that everyone's using online, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of that before we jump in with Blanka. Now, as for Lily...
Now, like I said earlier, this is what's going to end up jamming him up. He's going to essentially emulate some tactics and not really understand why he's doing it. Which is he's going to fall into problems. He's going to overextend himself, getting upset at himself or at the game for it not working every single time. It's going to be a real problem for him, and he don't see it. And yet again, this kind of ties back to the T. Carter thing. I think when they said T. Carter was really good at finding kind of like really cheap tactics and, you know, and building upon it essentially. And that's what DSP wants. He wants for high damage. Essentially, once he gets it down, it should work every single time, and that's it. He doesn't look at the situation that surrounds that, I should say. He doesn't look at, you know, character hitboxes. He doesn't look at spacing. He doesn't look at any of those things. Oh, I saw it work here, so it should work every single time. Not without actually understanding why it works. So, what are you gonna do?
It's funny because I'm watching high-level Lily gameplay, right? Some of the best players ranked with Lily. They're almost playing like I do. I would say they know a little bit better the hit strings. For example, I guess when you're up close with Lily, her best normal is standing light kick rather than the low jabs I've been doing. I guess standing light kick is more meaty and is a safer move. And if you do the standing light kick and they block it, you could either do a hit string into the low jabs, or you could just interrupt it with a 360 throw for the tick throw. Or you could fake them out. If they try to jump out of that, you could do the OD Rising Condor, whatever it's called in this. I think it's called Tomahawk Buster. I don't know why they changed the name of it, but yeah, I think it's that. And that'll blow through, so it's an option select. Also with Lily, I've been doing this combo, 3 low jabs into the meter burn Condor Rush, and it combos from like full screen. Well, guess what? Anytime you do meter burn Condor Rush, if it connects, you can cancel to a level 1 super, which I didn't know. So I've been using meter burn Condor Rush to go across the screen and go through fireballs. Like DJ would throw a fireball, I would blow through it. I could cancel the super for giant damage after. I didn't know.
A tick throw is basically a throw break, which is something that he doesn't do enough of, to be honest with you. And that's something that you should use against DSP, to be honest with you, on a regular basis. Is that whenever he goes for a throw, you know what I'm saying, you should throw break. You know, you should try to attempt it every time you get a chance. But he'll never do it. But most people don't do it. And most people don't think about doing it, to be honest. And they should. They really should look at doing it more often.
That. So I'm going to try some of that today. Outside of that, the one other thing I've seen a lot of people doing is they're using low fierce punch a lot. It's that 2-hit. She has the club and she like swings it like this. It's not only an anti-air, but it actually can catch them. And if it catches them on a counter hit, you have a lot of options. You can cancel into the move that charges the wind, or you can actually do the dash cancel. And after the dash cancel, you could just do a second low fierce into a full combo. So that seems really effective. I might start throwing out low fierce gameplay.
My bad. Did you ask about a tick throw, or did you ask for a tech throw? You asked about a tick throw. All right, give me a second.
Or low fierce attack even more, because it seems fairly safe from mid-range, and it's counter-hitting a lot of people's stuff. But outside of that, it's funny. Almost everything I'm doing with Lily is what the top players are doing. They just have much better execution. While my execution is lacking and I drop moves and I shake and falter a little bit, they're actually doing it a lot more solid.
Okay, so a tick throw is using a move that puts you at a positive, that puts you into positive frames, a throw or a command throw, or even an ultra that gives you 0 frames. Which I'm pretty confident he doesn't even use that properly. Let me see if I can pull up, while you guys are watching this, let me see if I can pull up a video for you real quick.
Saying that with Blanka, I was doing the wrong thing. I wasn't even doing the combo that's like the bread and butter that everyone's doing and leading to these setups and everything. But with Lily, I've almost got her down at this point. Like, the things I'm doing is exactly what people are doing at higher level with her. That's obviously a good thing, right? Still, DeCupo says the Overdrive Spire, Condor Spire. I call it Condor Rush. It's Condor Spire, the one that goes straight. Can be followed with OD Tomahawk Buster. That's the rising move in the corner. So if I combo there in the corner, I can get a follow up there too. Okay. See, it's pretty interesting with this game how situational certain things are. But if you have awareness, spatial awareness of where you are on the screen, you can lead to ginormous setups and combos. That wall bounce, dude. So many times I don't know if I'm gonna get wall bounce or if the enemy's gonna wall bounce when I do like a drive impact. And that's key in this game, I feel like, knowing that spacing. You need to have that spatial awareness in order to really succeed in this game. So anyway, I think I would like to practice a little bit with Blanka in training mode before we go online. I don't know if I'll go into training mode with Lily. It seems like I pretty much got stuff down. I think I will practice one combo, the one where you combo into the meter burn, Condor, is it called Spire? Condor Spire into Super. I want to maybe practice that timing.
Okay, give me a second. I think I can actually pull up a video for you. It's not going to do DSP any good if he doesn't practice it, though. It'll literally do him no favors if you don't practice. But I think I can actually find a video for you. Give me a second.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, but it should be a good time today. I hope I do better. You know, since I'm playing with Blanka and Lily characters I've already used, I'm hoping to get some good wins. I'm not saying I'm going to dominate, but maybe if I learn this strategy with Blanka, maybe I will do better. I don't know. We'll see. Try to figure this out. Okay? So, Oh, yeah? Bluebird says, if you get a punish counter with Blanka Ball, when you land, you can drive rush slide full screen. It'll combo after the Blanka Ball. That's pretty crazy. Huh? What players am I watching? I actually searched on YouTube, and I actually looked for, like, the top ranked players, like the people online who are ranked the highest in ranked. And what it is their matches get saved. So you can just watch their matches back, replayed. That's what I did. I was watching, like, a montage of the best Blanka and the best Lily and seeing what they're doing in gameplay online and how they're winning. So, anyway, so I'm going to try to apply some of that today. Will it work? I don't know. It might not. I might flub it. You know, like I said, I definitely want to jump in training mode, at least for a couple minutes with each character, just to see if I can apply either of those things that I'm trying to learn there. Maybe mess around a little bit with the combo ability of Blanka, right? But anyway, we'll see what happens. All right? I'm excited for today's gameplay stream of Street Fighter 6. I hope you guys are too. Then tonight on the late stream is the continuation of Zelda, and as I've already stated, we're going to continue on with this Impa quest line and try to unlock all the story-based stuff and go from there. If we do finish that tonight, maybe we'll actually try to hit up some of the story elements
in order to stop it. Actually, let me stop this. One of the most powerful things
this right here
in any fighting game is a tactic called a tick throw. And what that
probably
means
is probably
is
our
that
best bet.
You
If you
get
give
them
me
to
just
block
a second,
the first attack,
and it's
then
short
you
too.
throw
If
them
you give me just a
right
second, I can go
after.
ahead
You
and
can
get
set
this
up all sorts of
going.
ways. You can go low into the throw, on a jump in. You can jump in and then throw. And the reason why tick throws work so well in most fighting games is that in order to block, you have to hold back, right? You're blocking. And when you are blocking the first move, you are more likely to be still stuck in blocking position because you're trying to block the next attack. So if they're not ready for it, which a lot of people in order to stop it. Actually, let me stop this. One of the most powerful things you can do in any fighting game is a tactic called a tick throw. And what that means is that you get them to block the first attack and then you throw them right after. And you can set this up all sorts of ways. You can go low into the throw, on a jump in, you can jump in and then throw. And the reason why tick throws work so well in most fighting games is that in order to block, you have to hold back, right? You're blocking. And when you are blocking the first move, you are more likely to be still stuck in blocking position because you're trying to block the next attack. So if they're not ready for it, which a lot of people aren't, even pros can be prone to this, is that you can just get them to block the first one and then throw them on the next one. And that's tick throws in a nutshell. And this works in almost any fight.
I can throw it up there and play it for you guys again if you want. But yet again, it's using as he said, you can use any move, but realistically, you want to use a move that's extremely extremely fast, or plus positive on frames, and then throw immediately afterwards. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a normal throw. You can go for commands. You can go for command throw, a throw super. Whatever, as long as you can execute, that's the go for it. DSP brings that up because he throws a lot. If you break throws, or at least normal throws, then it basically stops all of that. His offense is essentially shut down at that particular point. So like I said, breaking throws are incredibly important, especially when you're against anybody, not just DSP, but against anybody. But that's in particular what he's speaking of. Oh, sorry about that, man. I thought it was tech throws. My fault. Now, let's go ahead and continue moving on with this. I hope that helps and whatnot. But the last part of this is a combo video that I found, or even a tutorial video, if you will, about Blanka. I think this is what DSP was talking about earlier, but this is just an assumption. So I'll go ahead and play it for you. You guys can tell me what you think.
You right? You right? You are power!
that's something that was actually like super important that I think that that gets overlooked. That Blanka doll is 50 plus frames. That's a lot of time. So when DSP talks about, if he talks about drop frames or whatever other bullshit that he wants to try to throw at you, right? Nah, you gotta do shoutouts. You gotta do shoutouts. But if he talks any shit about drop frames while he's trying to throw his Blanka doll out there, remember, at least in the back of your own head, that it's 50 plus frames. So if he don't have a setup, if he doesn't have them going into like a hard knockdown or something that will buy him enough time to do so, then he'll get punished, and you'll see why as this goes along. It's actually very true. Phil doesn't believe in frame data, but excuse me, he better learn. You better learn. You better learn fast. How he was saying in his Bottom Bitch podcast, some of the nonsense that you can do in the corner, and how like some of the shenanigans you can pull. This is, I think, to some extent, this is what he's trying to go for. Problem is his execution isn't good enough. What he should do is look at the combo itself and then break it down into sections. And once he can get one part of it down packed, then move on to the second, and just keep incorporating it. He won't do that. And that with the meter burn, if he fucks up, now he's in burnout, which, truth be told, being in burnout doesn't mean anything. You can still fight, you know what I'm saying, while you're in that position. But he's going to be too scared that he's going to get susceptible to anything that requires meter, essentially. And he thinks he's just going to crumble and fall. So, just stuff to keep in mind. Now here, I want you to take a look at this one part real quick, because he threw out the doll, and then I think he used electricity to kind of to essentially cover it. Let me see if this is the right spot. Sorry, chat. I forget this video is super short. Okay, this is it right here. Yeah, here's the meaty right here. Okay, here we go. This is what I think what I was talking about. Now, I'm wondering if DSP is going to be smart enough to try to attempt that. Yeah, my bad about the game audio. Here, I can bring that down. My fault. See the double headbutt that DSP also mentioned? I think that's what he was talking about as well.
Blanka-chan can't be stopped.
Yeah, it does have a lot of KOF type properties. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I think though, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the end of that. Big ups to everybody involved in that one. I think that's the video DSP was talking about. Like I said, I can't prove it, but that video came out a few days ago, and it pretty much matches up to DSP's description, at least in my mind. Whether he's going to be able to execute, whether he's going to be able to take advantage of some of the things that you saw there, because you saw where he'll throw out the doll, he'll go right into electricity, or he'll go into crouching light and then go into electricity, and then, you know, there's all kinds of different opportunities there. I'm anxious to see if he'll actually do any of that or not. I'll just wait until Volt Boy 2 or Memology or Snort Burnell until the Rage compilation comes out, and then we'll see what's what, to be honest. But there you go, chat. That's essentially all I really wanted to go over, to be honest with you. Nice short stream, but that's what I saw. That's where my head's at, essentially, with what he was saying on the Bottom Bitch podcast. He's kind of just setting himself up to fail, to be honest with you, because the strategy continues to evolve. Like, he's still kind of just scratching the bar. Really, Memology just put out a Raze compilation a few minutes ago. Holy shit! Telling you, man, boys work fast. And boys work fast. Holy shit, big ups. But he's setting himself up to fail. He really is. Like I said, the game is constantly evolving, and he's watching these people do these basic shit that he was doing, and they've incorporated that to their bread and butters, and they've moved on to advancing into other shit. And that's giving him this false sense of security, like, oh, okay, everybody's right where I'm at. I'm not that far behind. And in actuality, he's very far behind. He's very far behind. So it is what it is, and what it isn't. All right, chat. Let me go ahead and switch over real fast, and let's see here. Bloop. And that's that. Let me see what chat has to say, and then I will let you guys go and whatnot. Check out the Memology video. Head back to your main streamer of choice and whatnot, and probably see you next week. Speaking of which, Proper is supposed to be is on a stream tomorrow with a couple of people, so check out that. Big ups to Agent Proper. And then he has a stream on Sunday where he's going to go over some FGC stuff. Well, he might, I should say. I'm not really quite sure. If I do get a chance, I will try to jump on. I hope to try to jump on that with him on Sunday. We'll see and whatnot. If not, there's always next time. Oh boy. Always next time. So yeah, chat. Let's see if there's anything that I missed real fast, and I will go ahead and let you guys go. Yeah, DSP's been big mad, like, as of late. And the thing is, though, too, is he really thinks that Street Fighter 6 is going to be like Street Fighter 4, and it's going to be like his second coming. Sorry, he's already done that. I mean, his second coming out. He's already done that. You know what I mean? He thinks that he's just waiting for that one video to hit the algorithm, and then he's gonna be back on top. That's just not gonna happen. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. And that, after these 1,000 wins, is he still gonna want to play online? Is he gonna run back to World Tour mode? Who could say? To be honest with you, but from what I've seen, from his progress, I should say, he's right where I would have expected him to be. To be honest with you, he's barely breaking even, just barely. And if he is exceeding, it's not by, or if he is succeeding, I should say, it's not by much. So, 20 plus years, 30 plus years of playing Street Fighter, whatever you want to call it, it didn't really pay off too much. To be honest, it didn't really pay off too much. Like I said, I'll link those videos down in the description. You guys can check that out at your leisure. Right. And big ups, chat. Thanks for coming out. Very much appreciate it. And I'll holler at y'all later. Oh shit. My bad. Sound was up. But anyway, I'll holler at you guys later. Appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one. Later, people.